Hello. Welcome back to a difficult game about climbing. Now, this is kind of a voiceover with me walking you guys through the game and how I have a few tips for getting through it and whatnot. I was trying to beat my best time because after my original time of 12 hours during the actual video series, I beat the game in about an hour and a half, and I wanted to try this. In that little quick climbing thing, I saw someone do a speed run. I don't plan on doing a speed run at all because I saw someone do it in about 4 minutes, a little less than 5 minutes actually. So for this first part, what you want to do is you kind of want to just get to the tippy point of the rock, and you kind of want to swing your arm around and just reach up with the mouse and push your mouse as fast as you can. I use the mouse because I cannot get a hold of using the controller, which was difficult for me. And then for these, you don't want to do a big swing. You just want to do like a little swing and then just like push your arm over like a propelling motion with those little jumps throughout the game. And it comes much in handy later on in the game. And there I am trying to do the little, I don't know what the hell it's called, the spider grab or whatever, really quick, just because I was having fun with it. But a lot of these, just make sure you're just going simple. One thing that I do suggest if you're using a mouse is high sensitivity does help, but if you're not comfortable with it, obviously just stick to the low sensitivity. But the higher sensitivity does help with those little jumps. Now, coming up here, I was about to take the normal way, but I forgot there's actually a little shortcut you can use instead of just going straight in the water, and I was trying to find it for a second. So what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to go back over to the right over here at this rock, and then you can actually reach up. You can press your spacebar or just try to fling your mouse up for it, but I recommend using the spacebar a lot just to help with the hand fatigue, because this game really does make your hands cramp. And then you can reach for that little bush right there, and that does help. One thing for making these little tiny like reach up points is lower sensitivity really does help with that, but I was trying to do it with just leaving my mouse sensitivity where it was at in the settings menu. And then you just want to really take your time with the waterfall, because if you don't take your time and you try to grab on to the water itself, it will just take you down and you'll lose some progress, especially the farther you go, obviously. But I was able to do it actually fairly simple here. Here we are at the hand now. I just used the space bar at that point as well. It just really helps out when trying to reach those points, like I said. And then you're going to use the space bar right here. Now, this part took me forever when I was doing a live stream of it. It took me over 4 hours. As you see, you can actually reach over there if you get the timing just right. But I wanted to show you, if you don't make the timing just right, how you can do it. You can go up here, and like I said, this whole part took me 4 hours to do when I was doing it during a live stream. Just do the little propelling motion with your arm, not a huge swing, because a huge swing will mess you up, and then you'll be doing somersaults into the water. And it's fairly simple to grab onto this little metal sheet. Make sure you grab on with your right arm right here so you can reach over with the next one. And you just want to just try to remember where your arm placements are, because it can be very tricky. And then we go up here, climb up here. This part actually took me a few tries during this run, but I did not fall too far. But here we go. You want to try to get your arm up and reach up with the right arm and propel yourself up to the next area with the left arm. And I used the space bar to do so once I got my right arm up there. But like I said, it just took me a few tries here. And then, like I said during the live stream, this took me forever. So don't get discouraged if you can't get it right away. And then there we have it. I was finally able to jump up, as you can see in the time lapse. I don't know how I'm editing this yet, but I was very focused trying to do this. That's why I did a voiceover instead. But then right there, you sometimes have to be patient and wait for that thing to come down and try to just grapple your way across and then be able to reach over. Get the very edge of this tube and then get to that tube as well. Should be able to reach just fine. But like I was saying, I'm doing a voiceover because I tried doing this a couple of times while talking, while doing it. And apparently with this type of game, I can't talk and play at the same time. But here we are, just climbing the windows. Fairly simple. And then even here, I fell down a couple times while doing my original playthrough, which took me, like I said, 12 hours. So with the way this run it was going, just me just playing casually, I was very happy. And I probably made a lot of weird faces. For here, you just want to grab that little tiny window, just use your spacebar, press up. Same thing with this one. The spacebar method works better if your arm is lower, so you can actually reach up higher. And I'm doing these hand motions like I'm playing the game or something like that, or like I'm in the game. Right over here, I did the little arm swinging motion and just did the propelling thing and got over to that other one. The coil hangers can actually be tricky as well, so you want to take your time here because a little mistake would take you back to the, not too far, just back to the last water checkpoint. When we're at the undie pants, boxers, I just kind of do the propelling motion again and try to like angle your self upward. And from here, you can technically, I've seen people swing themselves all the way to the next checkpoint. I'm not confident in my skill, so I just swing with the dress until I can reach the speedos, and then I just try to grapple onto the end of the speedos to hopefully reach to the t-shirt. Again, you can probably just, even from the speedos, get to the next checkpoint. I'm not confident, so I'll just do whatever I can to save myself the misery of falling down. And then now we are at the rock climbing wall. Any green piece you touch will make you fall. So you want to just try to work your way up as slowly as you can, unless you are trying to speed run, which I messed up a couple times here because I was trying to go too fast and then my hands were cramping. So whenever you get to a checkpoint like this, I recommend just stopping, pausing, and just stretching your hands, because this hand cramps like I am doing right there. Good timing, because I'm actually reacting to my own video play. But that is what I recommend doing. Even if you're grappled onto a wall, pause the game, stretch your hands, because when you unpause the game, your hands will be stuck there until you press a button. So that is just another tip I have. So whenever you need to pause the game, step away, you can go ahead and do that. Save yourself the misery of the rage. And then right there, just do a little propeller jump as you can. Don't need to do too powerful, otherwise you're going to fall on the slide and go back down to the bottom of the rock wall. You want to try to reach up with this ring, and you can do it with both hands swinging. I just do it with one hand, swing back and forth like you would normally do any type of swing. And then you want to reach up with your arm, and you should be able to just reach to the leaves and grapple onto the leaves, and then you're on to the next area like so. The next part, again, tricky. As you progress with the game, each part gets trickier, but the hardest part of the game is actually coming up with the red beam. But here we go. You're going to want to try to grab onto one of the pegs of each of the steering wheel for the boat ship, and you want to try to keep going around a circle like that. I almost had it, but you want to let go with your left arm so your guy reaches up as the wheel is still spinning, and you just want to hold that left click as soon as you let go so you can hopefully grab on to the sail. And then there we go. I got onto the sail. Over here, I struggled a little bit trying to grab onto these little balls and strings. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, I struggled a little bit. I don't even know what I was about to say there. That's probably why there was a cut in my camera feed, but you just keep on climbing right here. As you can see, I demonstrated quite a few times. The pause, you can see my mouse sensitivity is about 80% up there. And you got to stretch those hands because they will cramp up playing this game. I'm actually a big fan of Markiplier, and he just started playing the game. And it's cool seeing other people play it because they're talking about the hand cramp as well. And I know it's just not me with my hands hurting. Come up here. I just keep using the spacebar method because it's saving me trouble from moving my hands back and forth with the mouse. Grab onto this wire, skip the shoelace because the shoelace is just going to make you fall. I'm pretty sure. I never even tried it, and I don't plan on it, because I'm just going to be safe about it. Now, the red beam is very, very tough. It can really mess up your hands and make them hurt. So after, I recommend really stretching your hands or pausing during to do it as well. I tried doing this quickly, and it took me a few tries. Essentially what you want to do is go back and forth. Once the beam on the left side's high, you want to get to that side and bring it down. Once it's all the way down, go back to the other side and go back up, and like a teeter-totter type deal. And then eventually you want to only go halfway and then go back over, and then either mouse up real quick or press the space bar and reach for that anchor, and then you're about to see it happen in a second. I almost got it a couple times, but it does take a few tries sometimes, and I think I only got like really quickly one time. And there we have it. We have the anchor, that beam. I swear I saw this team discussion. People hate certain parts of this game, and the beam is one of them. That part, the first time I did that, it took me probably 30 minutes to an hour maybe. And there we go. Checkpoint. Make sure you stretch those fingers. You want to make sure they're nice and limber and whatnot and not hurting, because it's such something that game does to you. Of course, this was a special circumstance of me trying to see how fast I could do it and beat an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever my best time before this actually was. For this part, when you grab onto the first box, you don't need to jump like that. You can probably reach. I don't know why I was doing that. You can do a propelling motion to the second box if you go ahead and get to the top of this first box. But another way that I do it sometimes just to be safe is you can go ahead and get swinging. Once you get into the right motion of that thing going up and down, eventually the levee system, I don't know how it works. I'm not a scientist. I don't know physics, but eventually you'll be able to go ahead and reach that. As you can see, I'm trying to get it by going up and down and trying to watch where it's going. Like right there, that's a good motion. And then now we finally have a good motion to get to that next box. For the most part, you kind of want to reach up as you're swinging just so you can hopefully reach that box. And I think we are almost there. Oh yeah, that was a good swing. You gotta love it. And then here you can just go ahead and reach for the pipe. Don't need to be as crazy as me with some of these things, but there we go. Almost got it. There we go. And then you just got to reach for the red one. Remember, the green little rocks or stones, they're false positives, or they're false. I don't know why I said false positives. They don't do nothing. They'll just make you fall, and it's false hope. I don't know. And then over here, another very tricky part. Not reaching for that. You should be able to reach that if you're easy. I don't know why I struggled with that. But sometimes this part takes me a while to do as well, because it goes up and down as you do it. What you want to do is try to reach as far as you can on that one. Reach for this one, and then you want to kind of like reach your mouse up. I don't like using the spacebar here, even though I sometimes do it out of habit. But you kind of want to reach your mouse up and try to reach for that pipe, or at least reach on the wall where the crack is. The pipe might be easier, but the moment that you grab onto that pipe with that hand, let go of the I think it's a sandbag. Let go of the sandbag so you don't fall back down, because force, gravity, if you're holding on to both, the one higher is not going to work holding onto the pipe. So yeah, when you grab onto that pipe, make sure you do it like so, like you're about to see in a second. And just like that, like I said, as soon as you get a hold of that pipe, you have to have it timed perfectly. Let go of the sandbag, because if you hold on to both, the sandbag will just bring you down, which for some reason took me so long to figure out, and I don't know why. But here we are actually moving on to the second to last part. I think this part people refer to it as the cave system. Again, for this part, people watch me do it. The few people that were in my stream watched me do it for about 4 hours, and I could not get past it. But essentially, there's a wheel that you gotta launch onto, and so I started touching the wheel, but that's all about it until I learned. This is the part that I learned about just doing the propelling system. Instead of doing swings like right here, just propel yourself onto that rock with as much force as you're able to. And then right here, this is where I was talking about. It's going to come in handy learning how to do that. And then just going up here, you kind of want to do like a little swinging motion usually, just to kind of reach for that rock. You got to watch, because sometimes you'll get onto it and then you'll just slip and fall back to the water. And then right here, I do the propelling system. I try to angle my arm upward though, just to get that little bit of air like right here. And then I was able to do a first try, which I was happy about. I know you just cannot see it in the reaction because I was trying to stay focused. Right here, normally what I tell people is, or I was telling people during one of my streams or videos is, you should probably lower your sensitivity because it's easier when doing these little reach ups. But being me, I didn't do it during this run because right up here, you're going to need the higher sensitivity again. Well, at least I need the higher sensitivity to do this because we're going to do another little propel right here and just kind of like reach up. Don't need a whole lot of force with that. And then right here, you should be able to just reach up or use the spacebar method to reach that rock. Right over here, you're just going to be very careful because the slightest bit of momentum downward, if you miss something, can make you lose your grip and fall down. I've experienced that way too many times. But you want to take your time. We're coming up to the last area of the game. Right here, do not touch the blue flowers. The blue flowers are very dangerous because the blue flowers don't have any grip to them. I learned that the hard way while streaming this or making a video. I can't remember because I did both. But right here, you want to do another thing. Make sure when you jump, hold both arms and like both grabbing mechanics, left and right. So if you touch those blue flowers, you can hopefully grip down to below them before you reach the end. Then we just climb onto the sign and then swing over and you are in the final area of the ice or snowy mountain. I'm not sure what to call it. You're almost to the peak with this area. And of course, new area means go ahead and stretch those fingers because my hand was really hurting by this point. Pretty much at every point my hand was really hurting. Right here, try to grab as high as you can to like the edge of that little snow peak right there. And then you just want to kind of like try to do another upward propelling motion. And you don't have to grab on the full rock. Sometimes you'll grab onto like a little tiny piece of it, which I think happens when I do this propelling motion right here. As you see, I kind of get that little tiny bit of piece of rock and got lucky with that. And that's all you really need to be able to advance. Just take your time here. Use spacebar or just if you want, obviously move the mouse up or controller if you're using the thumbsticks, I guess. Right here, try to get to the very tippy top as usual and just try to reach for that next piece. Same thing with right here. You kind of want to get the very tippy top of the one you're on and then reach for it. Right over here, you might need just a little tiny jump. And just when I do these types of jumps, I always reach with both hands just so at least one hand is hopefully guaranteeing my grab with the area. One thing I would recommend, oh, right here, we actually do another little jump. You want to, I grab this little like eye or pivot area. And then I just like do a little one upwards, grab with both hands on the ice because you'll slowly slide down. And I try to reach my arm to the right to grab that. And that's one thing I was about to say is I recommend for this area, grabbing with both hands if you start falling, because you might get lucky and grab onto something else. And when you're grabbing onto that ice, you're kind of slowing your fall just a little bit. So that really does help. Right here, you just want to be careful as you're reaching up because it can be another easy spot to fall if you lose your grip and get that momentum going downwards. Right here, you want to do like a little tiny jump, grab with both hands like that because like I said, it slows your fall. And I try to practice what I preach a lot, so showing that it works. And yeah, I'm hoping that this is helping somebody beat this game because I want as many people as they can to get the trophies for this. Another one where you just have to do the little tiny jump. As you see, grab with both hands. It's going to sound like a broken record up in here. Right here, you might be able to go that right side, but I don't think so. No, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't. This left side, just be very, very careful. As you can see, it is one of those small ledges where it's easy to fall again. This part, very tricky jump because you got to try to get that momentum again and try to go upwards. And my hand was very, very cramped at this point. Like right there. Hold onto the wall as you're sliding down if you mess up, because you might get lucky like I did and was close to all these rocks and didn't fall too far and lose a bunch of progress. And the good thing is I'm just back at where I just was, so I just got to get these little tiny jumps, which I already accomplished, and go through that jump once again because that jump can be kind of tricky. I think I got it on this next try, but I honestly cannot remember. So let's go ahead and do the little swing and then upward again. And there you go. I got it. Now coming up, there is one part I struggled on, which is quite embarrassing. So this run didn't go as smoothly as it might be looking it went. But right here, just be careful. Grab onto these little tiny rocks. And as long as your placement's pretty good, you should be fairly fine. Grab onto these rocks on the right side over here. Reach up and go ahead and just pretty much reach. You don't need to do any type of jumps with these types of rocks. Although, like I said, I started struggling because my hand was hurting oh so bad. And it's just what this game does to you. But at the end, look how fast I'm doing this. I found this easier than only up or getting over it. Because getting over it, I still struggle with the mechanics of that game. For this part, I struggled with for this video. I'll be honest, you're about to see the time lapse of the struggle. And a couple times I'm laughing. I'm like, are you serious? How good this run was going for me. My best time ever. Especially when my best time was like an hour and a half. But you kind of want to get the edge of this hook with your left hand. Swing a couple times and try to momentum upwards. And then just grab with both hands and hope one sticks. That is my tip. Hope one sticks. And I struggled. And if you fall, grab with both hands and slide down that rock wall, and that should be a safety spot for you where those little rocks are that I just grabbed onto. But here we go. Here's a little time lapse of this part because this is just embarrassing, and I'm so sorry about this. Go. I'm still at disbelief just watching what I went through with that because that was embarrassing. That was honestly the last like bit of it, and that was supposed to be like one of the easier jumps because you're already swinging, getting that momentum. But you know, you ever hear of a choke artist? Well, you might as well put me next to that in the dictionary and put my picture right on top of it because that was going to be a great time just for me in general. Although this is technically a really good run because of how long it took me the first time, 12 hours, like I said. But right here, I forgot, once you get up here, you actually have to hold on to that peak sign, grab onto the rope. I was kind of getting like, okay, where's the end? I need to get to the end here. And you kind of want to, you don't really need to swing. I don't know why I was swinging right here to reach up to the shed, you know? Just Jeff doing Jeff things, I suppose, but you don't, I don't know why am I swinging there? It's like one of those hindsight things when you're watching yourself, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Just reach up here and then you should be able to reach to that cloud. You kind of want to get to the edge of the antenna though, and then you want to be careful because you can fall all the way back down to the beginning of the ice area from here, and even while grabbing everything down, going down, you might be having too much momentum for anything to stop you from going all the way back down. So just be very, very careful. You know, I think this is where I'm like, wait a minute, why the hell am I swinging? There's no, see, there's no reason to swing. And you know what? Just me doing me things, I guess. And even then I almost messed up because I was trying to like make up for lost time with that stupid little red swing that I was just dealing with. In the clouds, all you do is just gotta reach up and you should be able to get them. And then, like I said, I hope this guide has, I think I said this, I don't remember at this point. I hope this guide helps somebody learn how to do things. The like for that cloud, you have to do that little propelling thing. I hope that propelling tip does help people, because I've been watching some videos of people wanting to swing with both arms or trying to swing, which was something I was doing. And it's just not very helpful. And then right here, the ladder, take your time with the ladder, because the first time I got to the ladder, I was so happy. I was going up. I misclicked on a bar. I thought I had it. Fell all the way back down to the beginning of the ice area. And that was not a happy thing. Side note though, I think I mentioned this during my series and whatnot. I love this part because it reminds me of the Truman Show. If you ever watched the Truman Show, where he finally escapes at the end and it's all an illusion, and seeing those like little support systems and stuff in the background is kind of cool. Right there, just press spacebar to reach for the thing. No need to rush this, because I think you can still fall. I'm not entirely sure what happens if you fall on the edges of the ladder, unless it's like a troll and makes you go back to the beginning. Something I wasn't willing to test out though. And here we go to the very end, and we finished it in 33 minutes and 18 seconds. I was so happy. All right, enough of that voiceover stuff. I did it. Look at that. I finished it in about 33 minutes and 18 seconds. I will admit again, I don't know what I said during the voiceover, but that ending was embarrassing with the little thing. But I struggled a few spots, and that is my best time ever on a raging type of game, and I am very proud of myself. I hope it helped anybody else. If it helped you, let me know. I try to make this as short and sweet as possible, with just a little tips on how to do things. As always, obviously, if you go ahead and climb and you need to take a rest, just pause the game, stretch your hands, because this game really does make your hands cramp up. You probably saw it during this, that I definitely was stretching my hands, especially at every checkpoint. But when you unpause, you're just at that checkpoint until you press a button. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, remember to change everyone one smile at a time. You never know whose life you can save or change. And as always, I want to see you guys in the next live stream and or video. Love you guys. Again, thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys more than anything in the world, especially if you made it this far into the video. Up over here, we got your most recommended video just for you. Down over here, make sure you subscribe and come back for more. As always, I can't wait to see you in the next video, and I look forward to reading your comments. Love you guys.